Hello, good evening and welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kojobaka. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, has stated that the supply of dollars to commercial banks has significantly improved, casting doubt on ongoing reports of a foreign exchange shortage in the market. Speaking at a press briefing, Dr. Esiama emphasized that the central bank has taken deliberate steps to ensure adequate dollar supply. More in this report.
Addressing the media after the Monetary Policy Committee meeting to review development in the economy, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama noted the cut was needed following fresh development in the economy.
So given the current state of macroeconomic conditions, the view of the committee was that inflation will continue to ease in the near term. And in the outlook, headline inflation is expected to drop to within the medium-term target of 8 plus or minus 2% by the end of the fourth quarter. However, the possible upward review of utility tariffs could exert some price pressures in the medium term. Notwithstanding this, maintenance of an appropriate monetary policy stance, strong sterilization efforts, ongoing fiscal consolidation, and adequate reserve buffers should sustain the disinflation process. Given these considerations, the committee, that is the MPC, by a majority decision, voted to lower the monetary policy rate by 350 basis points to 21.5%.
The governor of the Bank of Ghana also went ahead to assure the market it has adequate dollar reserves to support the market.
We support the markets. The banks themselves also trade among themselves. And through all those channels, we are able to, fund imports.
Dr. Esiama also questioned reports that suggest commercial banks are facing liquidity challenges, especially when it comes to supply of dollars.
I'm not sure if that is true. As of yesterday, I don't think there was a single demand for dollars from the banks that was not met.
Now, President of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Enyimdake, has welcomed the Bank of Ghana's decision to cut the policy rate from 25% to 21.5%.
Ghana Industrial Summit and Exhibition, President of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Enyimdake, told Joy Business the decision will help manufacturers access cheaper financing and boost production.
Seriously, yes, we did, and I think I wish, like Oliver Twist, would have been a 19. But I presume the governor and his team have done significantly well over the period, close to 600 percentage points down, and now around 21%. The next stage is that we believe the inflation will trickle down a little more to urge him in the next quarter to do further. Whilst that is going on, we want to see the T-bills also responding, and that will lead to the lending rates to our various enterprises also bouncing back, so the non-performing loans will reduce. The non-performing loans has a functionality with high interest rate. So when there's default rate, you see the non-performing loan also going high. Our prayer now is that this will also reflect in the lower non-performing loans and increase productivity, borrowing and then productivity, and eventually job creation. So it's a welcoming position, but we still expect more considering the stability we've attained till now. We know they are concerned because of the issues like the tariff rates coming up. So what is it going to impact on inflation? Now government seeks to do a lot of disbursement and payment of contractors. They're focusing all this. So it's in the right direction where the policy rate is.
The Association of Ghana Industries is also calling on commercial banks to reflect the policy cut in their lending rate so that businesses can truly feel the impact. The Bank of Ghana says the decision was driven by easing inflationary pressures and the need to stimulate economic recovery.
Talking about the Bank of Ghana, they have assured government and financial sector players that they will deploy policy initiatives aimed at making funds available for companies under the 24-hour economy drive. Head of Banking Supervision at the Bank of Ghana, Ismail Adam, gave the assurance when he spoke on behalf of the Governor of the Bank of Ghana at a roundtable discussion with bank directors and senior managers under the theme, Financing Ghana's 24-hour Future, the role of banks in the transformational journey. More in this report.
The engagement with the banks forms part of consultation processes by the 24-hour plus Economy Secretariat to have all critical stakeholders aligned with the policy. According to the head of supervision at the Bank of Ghana, Ismail Adam, the central bank has given approval for the Ghana incentive-based risk system for agricultural lending to use earth funding as collateral for businesses to be able to lend. He therefore declared the central bank's commitment to formulate policies that will support commercial banks to make funds available for the 24-hour policy.
The Bank of Ghana has granted approval for guarantee provided by GISEL to be accepted as collateral for lending to agribusinesses. This initiative was aimed at boosting GISEL's credibility as credit guarantee provider and make credit guarantee scheme more appealing for financial institutions to rely on. And I'm sure going forward, when DBG also start providing guarantees, the same protocol will be extended to DBG. In conclusion, the Chair, let me reiterate that the Bank of Ghana is keen on supporting this lateral policy by the Government of Ghana. As indicated earlier, there is a bi-directional relationship between the real sector and the banking sector. Hence, the success of the 24-hour economy will ultimately boost the banking sector through increased utilization of financial services by the industry players.
Chief Executive for the Ghana Association of Banks, John Ewa, welcomed the idea and assured of more support to the private sector.
We are very keen to be the oil that fuels the program. Obviously, it takes two to tango, so we need private sector to also come on board. And as you can see, this is not a government program per se. Government is drawing the framework, but it's going to be private sector led, and as banks we like when it's private sector, so we can deploy our capital and liquidity to finance and also to mobilize private capital to ensure that the program is successful in the end.
Coordinator for the 24-hour policy, Kusi Tano, in an interview expressed optimism about the support of the financial sector to the policy.
And of course, one of the key components of any economic program is the financing of that program. And you know, the 24-hour economic program is a private sector-led program. So what we sought to do today was to engage the banks on the content of the program and what role they can play and how best they can move forward to support the private sector who will be in the value chains that we've chosen as a critical value chains to grow this economy. And the meeting was quite successful. You were there, and they basically understood what was required. I'm sure you know that there are a lot of problems in Ghana for SME funding.
Senior managers of all the banks in the country were at the engagement.
Finance Minister Dr. Kasiela Tuforsen has assured that Ghana's borrowing strategy will remain disciplined and focused on information as well as transformation as the country records significant progress in debt sustainability. The following report has more.
The Minister made this known during a meeting with the President of the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, Abdelake Al-Musaibi, in Accra. Dr. Forsen stressed that new borrowing will be directed strictly towards projects with lasting economic and social impact rather than consumption. Ghana's total public debt declined from 763.8 billion Ghana cedis, which is 64.9% of GDP in July 2024, to 628.8 billion Ghana cedis, which is 44.9% of GDP in July 2025, according to data from the Bank of Ghana. Highlighting infrastructure as a key priority, the minister pointed to the planned Accra-Kumasi motorway project, explaining that feasibility studies are underway and the road is expected to be completed within 2.5 years. On his part, Badia President Al-Musaibi commended the minister's focus on sustainability and transformation and pledged the bank's readiness to support the large-scale project of such economic importance.
Other stories, export value for companies under the Ghana Free Zones Authority has hit $1 billion as of the first quarter of this year. And this was disclosed by the Chief Executive Officer of the authority, Dr. Mary Awusi. Now, speaking at the 30th anniversary launch of the Ghana Free Zones Authority, Dr. Awusi stated that she will lead the charge to ensure the completion of industrial zones in Bonkra in the Ashanti region, Shama in the Western region, and other industrial zones.
With about 306 active licensed companies under its authority, the Ghana Free Zones Authority continues to champion industrial growth in the country. Comprising a blend of wholly Ghanaian, foreign and joint ventures, these enterprises contributed about $2.2 billion in non-traditional exports by the end of 2024. The Minister for Trade, Industry and Agribusiness and Board Chair of the authority, Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare, reiterated the ministry's vision of establishing specialized economic zones to promote industrial growth.
Over the years, Ghana has pursued bold policies to position itself as a competitive hub for trade and investment. However, ladies and gentlemen, to sustain the scale these achievements we have, we must evolve. This is why my ministry is championing the transformation from export processing zones to specialized economic zones, which has become imperative to embrace a more modern, inclusive and flexible model of industrial development.
Highlighting the authority's contribution to socio-economic development, the CEO, Dr. Mary Ewusi, disclosed that the non-traditional export value for companies under the authority hit $1 billion in the first quarter of 2025.
Together, these enterprises have lifted Ghana's non-traditional exports from $145.4 million in 1997 to $2.25 billion as at the end of 2024. The export value for the first quarter of 2025 alone stands at $1 billion.
She emphasized the need to develop additional industrial zones to support economic advancement.
I will drive infrastructure development to accelerate the expansion of our existing enclaves while opening new industrial zones to create greater opportunities for growth.
At the ceremony, the logo for the 30th anniversary celebrations was unveiled. The theme for the celebration is 3 decades of impact, empowering businesses, transforming trade in Ghana. Some of the programs outlined for the celebration include business fora, student seminars, exhibitions, and an awards and gala night.
The Minister of Labour, Jobs and Employment, Abdul Rashid Pelpo, has emphasized the need for the youth to explore digital technology and strategies to remain globally competitive. Speaking at the Ghana Career and Migration Fair, he said digital technology and agribusiness hold immense potential for Ghanaian entrepreneurs globally. Here's a report.
The Ghana Career and Migration Fair is a major platform connecting job seekers with companies across the world to prepare the Ghanaian youth for the global market and encourage entrepreneurship. Deputy EU Ambassador to Ghana, Jonas Clare, said the partnership with Ghana is mainly focused on skills and employment. He said 1,000 Ghanaian students travel every year for education, and there will be growing demands as the European population is aging.
So our partnership with Ghana is strongly focused on skills and employment. The EU-Ghana Pact for Skills is one of our flagship programs, co-funded by Germany. There will be a growing demand for African talent and workers globally, as the workforce will be decreasing in many European countries. We anticipate an increased need for facilitating legal pathways for labor migration and mobility for African workers.
The fair, an initiative led by the Ministry of Labour in partnership with the Ghanaian European Centre for Jobs and Migration Development, aims to promote ethical migration, fair recruitment processes, legal protection, career readiness, and entrepreneurship.
Today, global forces such as digital transformation, artificial intelligence, automation, demographic change, and climate realities are no longer distant trends. Every day we confront them in our lives. They are here with us, reshaping labor markets and transforming the lives of our young people. For Ghanaian youth to thrive, they must cultivate globally relevant skills, adopt to new job sectors, and seize the opportunities in the digital and green economies.
It's globally estimated that by 2030, nearly 1 billion people will need to reskill to remain relevant in their career. Africa will have the largest workforce in the world by 2035. Hilda Kunimo is Managing Director of Jobaman Ghana.
Globally, it is estimated that by 2030, nearly 1 billion people will need to reskill to remain relevant in their careers, according to the World Economic Reform. But here in Africa lies with us both our greatest challenge and our greatest hope. By 2035, Africa will have the largest workforce in the world. Ghana, with its vibrant and youthful population, will be a very significant part of the story.
The Ghana Career and Migration Fair serves as a platform for bridging the gap between young people's aspirations and the needs of employment.
The Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana has held its 2025 National Leadership Strategy Summit to address challenges confronting the sector and chart a path for growth. Here's more.
The 2025 National Leadership Strategy Summit, held under the theme Recognizing the Contributions and Empowering the Agent Network, the role of government, brought together mobile money agents, government agencies, and key stakeholders. Discussions focused on vulnerability of agents to armed robbery and fraud, as well as the need for stronger safety and inclusivity measures in their operations. General Secretary of the Association, Evan Sotumfo, called on government to step up its support to mobile money agents.
We are calling for government to relook at the operations of the mobile money agents, come in with interventions and, reviews that would ensure the safety and also enhance the businesses that we are doing. And then access to grants, access to soft loans. Government's initiative to introduce the Women's Bank is a fantastic idea that will support our female members. But beyond the gender, benefit or the bias, what is the other businesses also going to be gaining? So we are calling on government through the various and the relevant finance institutions like the MASLOC and any other funding agencies to come into our aid and also ensure that they provide us with the necessary financial support and assistance, both technical, logistical, and also, educational aspects.
He also urged policymakers to critically examine the mobile money sector in light of the proposed 24-hour economy policy, stressing the need to ensure feasibility and sustainability.
Our stock in trade is finance, it's about cash and money. And daytime, we are having issues with regards to robberies and security. And so we understand the impact of the 24-hour economy on businesses. However, it will take much, for mobile money agents to also be included in the 24-hour initiative, unless, of course, we are going to say that, yes, government is providing targeted security for our businesses. Other than that, for the 24-hour economy, we'll have to take lessons from how we suffer from robbery and attacks during the daytime and to take a decision as to our availability for the 24-hour economy, which drives into the night and then into the next day. So it is something very critical if government really wants to have us, play a major role within the 24-hour economy.
The association maintains it will continue collaborating with stakeholders to strengthen the mobile money ecosystem while safeguarding both agents and customers.
The Ghana chapter of the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology has organized a workshop aimed at demystifying biotechnology and highlighting its potential to improve food security in the Upper East region. Albert Sori reports.
Workshop held in Bolgatanga provided participants with the opportunity to explore practical applications of biotechnological innovations in agriculture. Key among the issues discussed was the newly developed pod borer resistant PBR cowpea seed, a product of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. Participants were introduced to the benefits of this seed in safeguarding cowpea crops from pod borers, a major pest that affects yields and livelihoods in many farming communities. Dr. Gloria Adazebra, a plant breeder at the Savannah Agricultural Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, spoke on the potency and efficacy of the PBR cowpea.
One of the major benefits of this cowpea is that it protects itself from being fed on by the insects. We know this particular insect is very devastating to our cowpea. When it enters inside your cowpea, it doesn't come out. No matter how you spray, these insects remain inside. It is not outside that you can easily get rid of it. So due to its feeding nature being inside, when you even spray up to 10 times, you are not able to get rid of it, which is not good for our environment. But with this particular cowpea, you need a minimum of only 2 sprays, and you are good to go.
The workshop emphasized the importance of collaboration among researchers, policymakers, religious leaders, and farmers in ensuring the responsible and beneficial deployment of biotechnology. The Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology, OFAB Ghana, in collaboration with CSIR, organized the workshop as part of a broader effort to raise awareness, address misconceptions, and promote informed discussions about biotechnology across communities in Ghana.
Africa should not go hungry. Our farmers should not always be at the losing end. There are options. There are technological options. There are scientific tools that can be used to enhance crop production in the face of climate change, in the face of dwindling farmlands. There's so much competing land uses, so that agricultural lands are shrinking, whether we like it or not. And if we want to continue the way we have been doing the hoe and the cutlass, what impact are we going to make?
Some participants of the workshop shared their perspectives on biotechnology.
No, there are a lot of conspiracy theories in the system that people kind of feed into the fears of people already have about this. So they tell them things that are not really true. But then you need to counteract the conspiracy theories about GMOs so that people can really understand the truth about it. And I think exactly this is the kind of forum we need, the kind of forum in different levels.
Initially, we had the mentality that it was full of chemical base. But now we have known that it has come to make farming become so easy for us. So that's one thing I've learned today.
The stories I heard about it, I was thinking that it's bad, saying that it was going to alter the genetic of the human race, and for that matter, we should not embrace it. But today, from this workshop that we had, it has been an eye-opener. And I got to know that it is something that will rather help us and then help the farmers to get good yield.
For JoyNews, Albert Sorry, Bolgatanga.
Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojobaka. Prime Sports is next.